All right, cool.
What up, everybody? It's your boy PTK BLAM back with another episode of the Shop Podcast here on a beautiful Saturday evening with a bunch of my gaming friends. I want to say thank you for everybody coming out, showing support to the channel, showing support to the live stream, showing support to my friends. I'm going to go ahead and go around the panel, let everybody introduce themselves. As I always say, thank you, everybody. I really do appreciate that. So we're going to go ahead and just start out with the usual suspects that we have here. Starting from left to right, we got Boba Fett of the Internet, as he calls himself. Mr. Zasman, go ahead and give yourself a shout-out, sir.
Yeah, you know.
What is that? Never mind. I'm skipping you next time.
Focusing. Sorry. Dark Souls.
All right, everybody. He's a little predisposed right now, so we can go ahead and move on to my right-hand man, GKB. Go ahead and give yourself a shout-out, brother.
What's up, everybody? It's the drunken GKB tonight. Let's do this.
Oh, man. It's going fast.
It's a fantastic show.
All right, everybody. Let's disregard GKB for this entire podcast. Next person we have here is my other good friend here, Asthmatic. Go ahead and give yourself a shout out, man.
What's going on, everybody? It is an honor to be back on a podcast finally, and apparently I'm the only sober guy in here, so I guess is what makes me unique tonight. So I don't know how long that's gonna last. We'll see. But yeah, I've just been playing Division, been making videos, going to school, and I'm super happy that my schedule has allowed for me to be here on the podcast with all these amazing gamers. So let's get it rolling.
Great. Then I got my other good friend here, Mr. Predator himself. Go ahead and give yourself a shout out, brother.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Man, I've been working like crazy the last 3 weeks. I haven't had a day off in literally 3 weeks, but it sounds like it's gonna be a little wild in here today. So y'all gear up.
For sure. And then we got our special guest, my good friend, another brother from another mother. I did a very first one of my very first one-on-ones I did with this gentleman here. Great gamer. Everybody knows him. The god of Xbox gamer
Jesus Christ. Here we go.
If you think your gamer score is good,
Mr. 1 million.
Mr. 1 million gamer score himself. Go ahead and give yourself a shout out, Rand.
What's going on, PTK? What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me on. It's been a little bit, man.
Yeah.
It's been a while. But
it's been way too long. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'm always happy to jump on here and shoot the shit with you guys. So thanks for inviting me, and let's see how you know what, I want to see how drunk GKB really is.
Let's do this. We got it.
Let's do it, everybody.
Because he sounds a bit tipsy. I mean, and especially She-Wolf. She's sending out some crazy tweets now.
All right, everybody. So let's go ahead and get rolling. Fuck it. Let's just dive right in. Everybody in the chat, it is enabled. Go ahead and put your questions in the live chat, please. I'm actually gonna take a few more of those than I typically do. It's been another slow news week as far as gaming, so we're gonna be taking your questions like right away after we go over a couple topics. So don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Also, I really appreciate the love and support. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So the first topic I want to go ahead and go over is betas. We have a ton of betas this month to play, just on most platforms, on Xbox, PlayStation 4. Also, too, we've had the Gears beta. We have updates to Destiny, updates to Division, Battleborn beta, Doom beta. Am I missing one? Anybody? Am I missing one? I think that's pretty much all the betas.
We lost the beta.
Beta count?
Oh, the Firefight also too, in Halo 2. So it's just been a lot of updates, a lot of betas. I kind of want to get everybody's opinion on what they're playing, how they're enjoying the betas that they are playing. So I'm going to go ahead and start with our special guest here, Rand. What have you been playing? Any betas you've been playing lately, and what do you think of them?
Let's see, the beta. Oh yeah, so a couple days ago I played the Battleborn beta when it came out, because I was interested in seeing what that game was all about, because I haven't played it yet, and it looked interesting, because I am a fan of Gearbox when they do Borderlands and not when they do Aliens Colonial Marines. So I was like, alright, so me and my buddies downloaded the game, and
Terrible.
The word that came to mind was instantly forgettable.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's
Wow.
so the beta comes with like 2 story missions, because it's got like a full co-op campaign, and then it's also got the multiplayer. So It's got 2 missions in the co-op campaign. Immediately, so when you drop in there, you can choose from like I think it was maybe 8 of the characters out of the 25. There's a lot of different characters, a lot of different types. It's first person. So the first thing I noticed though was the boss. He like taunted you through the level. Like it was trying so hard to be funny, but in that irreverent kind of way, like Borderlands.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because like it's a robot. And it's voiced by the dude who plays Claptrap. So the whole time I'm just thinking, like, that's just Claptrap. But it's not as funny as Claptrap. And, like, we're just playing the campaign, and we're all just like, is anybody else bored? Within, like, 10 minutes, everyone's like, yeah, this is boring. And we finished the level, and we're just like, well, enough of this shit. Like, right, let's see what the multiplayer's got. And the multiplayer is, it's a MOBA.
Yeah.
You pick your heroes, there's minions that spawn, and the minions go across the map, and, you know, it's like they tried to Call of Duty-fy a MOBA in a way, because it's kind of like Smite, but like much more Call of Duty-esque. That part was interesting. I'll say that was a lot of fun, but not like too much fun, but just like, well, we didn't bother playing the second game, and all 5 of my buddies decided to just uninstall the beta after that, and everyone was just like, nope. Like, that game is going to get destroyed. Nobody's buying that game when it comes out. I'm telling you now, that game is going to bomb. And they're going to have to rush production on Borderlands 2.
Interesting. I was actually looking forward to trying to actually download and play a little bit of that. But, you know, I still may do it anyway because, I don't take everybody's opinion right away. Obviously, I want to play it myself. But that's very interesting to hear that the game wasn't that fun. Especially coming from a developer like Gearbox. They typically do good work. But, like you said, anything outside of Borderlands is a little shaky with Gearbox. So
it's also coming out the wrong time. Like, it's coming out at the beginning of May. There's also Doom that month, Mirror's Edge that month, Overwatch that month, Homefront. I mean, we've just went through 4 months of basically kind of hit or miss. I mean, yeah, it was Quantum Break this month, but like last month it was just Division, and February it was kind of just Far Cry Primal, and like there wasn't much in these past 4 months. There was a couple games, and they decided to release their game in smack dab like one of the busiest portions of the year. Sometimes I just question like some developers like motives, like why not release that game in July or June?
There's not much coming out.
Like because people are just gonna play the game. They're gonna play the beta. They're not gonna like it, and then they're gonna see. I mean, people love Doom, right?
Yeah.
People are gonna play Doom, and Blizzard's doing Overwatch, and that's just gonna sell based on the fact it's Blizzard, and Mirror's Edge is Mirror's Edge. So I mean, like that game is just the odd one, outside the house, looking inside, and it's just left out in the rain.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So GKB, what you been playing lately, man? Any betas? What do you think about any of the ones that you've actually been playing?
Yeah, like I'm gonna go with Rand here. That beta is just terrible. I literally couldn't even play through a whole game. It was so slow, so boring. But Firefight, oh man, that's fantastic, dude. We tweeted out and got a bunch of parties together, just constantly playing through Firefight. It's so fantastic. And every time you play through, it switches up the objectives, so it's constantly changing. But it's a ton of fun. Doom, fantastic. Love that game. I can't wait till that comes out. That's day one buy for me. What else I've been playing? Let's see. Honestly, I don't even know right now.
You've just been playing a lot of.
I've played everything. Man.
You've been playing a lot of games. All right, cool. And I've been meaning we gonna have to get on that Halo GKB sometime this weekend.
Let's do it.
Get on that Firefight. All right. So Zaz, what you been playing, man? What do you think about the betas? I know there's been a lot coming out in the updates to certain games like Destiny and and Division also too. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, true to form, disliked pretty much everything except for Firefight. Let's see. I mean, yeah, Battleborn, I'm in the same boat as everybody else. I hated it. Thought it was the most boring piece of crap. Hoping Overwatch is going to be better, but
Overwatch is going to destroy it, dude.
Yeah, we can hope. I didn't get to play it because my PC can't run it, but whatever. I'll wait. And then Doom, I didn't like either. Didn't like that at all. Probably just not a fan of the whole style in general. I won't say it's bad, but I didn't like it. Thought it was horrible, but whatever. What? Oh, yeah, Division update. Lost my character for 4 days, so now
I heard
we're gonna
about
talk
that.
about
I heard
that.
about that, man.
Oh, he
Good.
was salty, man.
He was super salty.
I got him back now, and it doesn't matter. It's already been done. It's happened, and I don't forget that easily. So the only thing I liked was Firefight, but Firefight's even a little bit too easy. They're gonna have to up the difficulty on that.
Okay. All right. Cool. Definitely, man. I keep hearing firefight. I got to get more. I got to get down on that, man. This weekend at some point. All right, Matt, or asthmatic. I shouldn't say Matt because we got two of them in here. But asthmatic. What you been playing? Any of the betas? What do you think of them, man? Anything you've been playing?
I was playing that Division 1.1. That's super fun. I have not yet beat the Incursion. I haven't gotten a team of 4 together yet to actually go through and beat that, but it is super fun. I really like the way they built that experience. It's really good. The way they make it difficult. It's it's just the one room, and it's only really one encounter that you have to fight through.
It's really fucking hard, man. It's not.
It's really well done. Yeah. And as far as betas go, I was on the Thursday night. I was playing the Halo 5 Warzone Firefight, and it's great. The two things that I really like about it, one is that it's super fun the way it is. It's really great the way, as GKB mentioned, that every time you play, you get like random objectives. So every round, you don't know what the next thing is going to be. You might be, defending this area, or you might have to go attack guys on the other side of the map. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, right now, it's a 5-round experience, and it's only on one map in the beta playlist. And so my hopes, it's obviously going to be on more maps when it's live, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. But what I'm hoping is that they make it longer, because if you get a really good, skilled group of people together, you'll be able to just blast through that, and it's just going to end up being, you go through, blah, 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 kill the boss, blah, 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 kill the boss. I want to see it be almost like infinite levels, and it just keeps getting harder and harder, and you just eventually have to fail because it's so impossibly difficult, and it just becomes, all right, how far can you get? How many rounds can you beat? And we'll just see people, fighting for hours and hours trying to just continually defeat impossible versions of Warden Eternal, and it will be this amazing marathon.
Nice. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, like I said, I keep hearing it, man. That firefight, I've been hearing some great things about it. I really got to get into that. All right, so Pred, man, what do you think, man? Any betas you've been playing? I know you said you've been busy, you ain't really had much time, but have you gotten a chance to get any of the betas or Destiny or the Division at all?
I actually did get in the firefight with GKB and then She Wolf. I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
We played a little bit, about an hour or so, and then and I love it. I can see myself getting back into Halo, because I really kind of, once the Division came out, I kind of put Halo down for a little bit. But I'll definitely jump on some more Firefight. I actually was gonna get on tonight, and then you hit me up for the podcast. So I'll be getting into more Firefight here now. My schedule's getting back, and I played the Division, and man, that shit is rough.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really difficult. I think you got 15 waves of people to go through or something like that.
Yeah,
and,
15 waves. Yeah.
I played through it, and I was on that ledge in that room, and it's like the team I was playing with was like we just could not push forward and push anywhere. It was like we were just getting. It seemed like we were just reviving each other the entire match.
Shame that revive.
Yeah, man. So I mean, it's rough, man. That's it. I haven't. I actually downloaded Doom, but I still haven't had a chance to play it. I'm not a big Doom fan, but I'll definitely get onto that and check it out. I hate turning down free games and have a chance to play something for free. So, as far as the other one was the Battleborn, I just really wasn't interested in that game at all. So I didn't even waste my time downloading it.
I actually tried out two other betas as well, PTK.
Yeah, which?
Well, I tried out the Firefight one, which I really enjoyed. Like I played it last night with South and a few other people. Maybe it was people we were playing with, but like we struggled, man. We couldn't. We get to that part with the where you had to defend the garage. We just could not like clear them out.
That's the hardest one, except for the boss.
And then once we didn't get that one, it was pretty easy. Like, because like once you get kind of past that one, you can start calling in the vehicle wrecks. And then when you get to the final wave where it's like, what is it, like 4 Warden Eternals and everyone's got tanks or mantises? Yeah. Pretty easy. It's a good way to get a lot of rec points to it. They do reward you quite well. I also played the Gears 4 beta last night.
That's one I missed. I
forgot about that one.
Lucky enough to get early access to that. The
perks of being on top.
I wouldn't say that, but if you like Gears 3, you'll like this.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of reminds me a lot of Gears 3. A lot they changed it a lot from Judgment. Like I remember people getting pissed with when they changed up the multiplayer for Judgment, but it reminds me a lot of Gears 3, which is good. I mean, the game runs 60 frames per second. It's really smooth.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been that big of a Gears multiplayer kind of guy.
Yeah.
I like the campaign and the co-op and the horde stuff more.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had fun. And I mean, I can't wait to for everybody, because we also played it late, so like we really couldn't find like actual people to play against.
Yeah.
So we actually had to play against, because they actually put bots in the game, so you could play like team deathmatch against bots or whatever. But
okay.
they got a couple new weapons in there. Like that drop shot is pretty lethal. But other, it's cool. I mean, it's nice to see Gears back. I know a lot of people out there are huge Gears fans.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's cool. I mean, I streamed it for a little bit last night. That was some fun, because I've kind of taken like the month off from streaming because I can't really score any points. But yeah, it's like the month of betas, dude. I haven't seen so many, and like next week is Mirror's Edge.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. Hopefully I get on that one. That one's closed though, so we'll see.
Yeah. So it's just been pretty much like everybody here said. We all been playing a little bit. I've been playing. Just today, I actually finished an incursion today. On the Division. I haven't been really gaming all that much within the past week or so. Haven't really had much time to work and everything, but I really did like the changes that were made on the Division thus far. The incursion was super hard, but it's super rewarding once you finish it. They give you some good gear at the end. You get, you only get 15 Phoenix credits though, which is kind of odd for a hard-ass mission like that. You only get 15, but you should get like 100 or something crazy like that. Like, honestly,
Can I just say that incursion is a big pile of dog shit, by the way.
Ooh, yeah.
They fucked up Division so bad. That game is so fucked up right now.
How do you figure?
Dude, alright, so that incursion comes out, and number one, they were saying, like, if that is their big endgame content, that whole game is fucked. Because it's literally a fucking horde mode. Nobody wanted a horde mode in that game, because...
Agreed.
Let's face it. The worst thing about the Division is the actual gameplay mechanics of the fucking game. Like, sitting behind cover and shooting people isn't fun, because the gameplay mechanics are about as mundane as you can get. People like the Division for other reasons. It wasn't like because you could sit behind cover and shoot people. There's 100 games that do that better, right? So they made this like people found a way to fucking cheese it like they always do, because the people always figure out the fastest way to do stuff. So you could glitch through the wall with the mobile cover, and the enemies wouldn't shoot you, so you could just sit there with your sticky bomb, upgrade it, shoot the thing, and you could shoot the APC and whittle its health down. I did it a few times.
I heard about that, yeah.
Well, they patched it real fast, but the way they patched it was like they also disabled the rewards for doing it, right?
Yeah.
But then someone else found a new way to cheese it, and then someone else found a way to cheese how to get the rewards back. Right, so if you go on like the Division Reddit, it's like all-out war between the people who are doing it and getting the stuff and the people who won't. But then if you go on but the way the Dark Zone is set up is like if you just kind of put on like a shitty pistol with your good stuff, you'll get matched up with people like that. And then as soon as you get in the Dark Zone, you just put on all your good stuff, and everybody else in the Dark Zone has absolutely no like chance against you whatsoever. So people are just rolling through the Dark Zone, and now Ubisoft's like saying, if you did this glitch, we are gonna ban you. We're gonna roll back your stats, like, and people are starting to get a little furious if they actually go along with it. They fucked that game up so bad.
Yeah, I can understand. Yeah. Well, no. Isn't there just one?
There's another one coming. I guess I see it in the part of the map. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is one of the things, and I appreciate you actually saying that, Rand, because. This is one of the things that we talked about before the Division came out. What are some of the things that they're going to do differently? Some things they're going to add, game modes. Content is king with games like this. You have a perfect example in Destiny of how not to make an open world type game, you know what I'm saying, like this, where you have RPG elements and things like that. I don't necessarily mind the incursion. It's it's not much for like a big update, honestly. It's like you said, it's pretty much horde mode. It's pretty much you once you get through the tunnel, you're already at the end of the mission. So it's not like a long mission, like you know how the missions are typically in Division, where there's a bunch of different parts and you go to different areas and things. You really just walk through the tunnel. Once you kill the drones and all this other stuff, once you go down the ladder, that's pretty much the end of the mission. You're at the end. You just got to keep fighting off the waves of enemies. So it is kind of redundant. I can completely understand where you're coming from, Ren, and it is something that I hope to see them do differently, and I hope to see them address. I was hoping that they would just unlock another part of the map for us to play on. I was hoping for something like that. Give us a new area. Well, more than likely that'll be some DLC that we're gonna have to pay for down the line, or get a season pass for, or something like that. But I can completely understand where you're coming from, though, Matt. So there I can see that kind of getting in with the like you were talking about the glitches and everything like that. I can kind of see that getting redundant, like you know people just kind of using that glitch over and over again, and then like just getting all that good gear that they just recently came out with. Because I did notice when I went into Dark Zone today, I went in by myself, and there were like 6 skulls on the map as soon as I went in. Yeah. There was a bunch of people going rogue like crazy. I actually I had up until this point, I had never been killed by like a rogue agent. I was killed 3 times a day by people going rogue, just randomly, just running by somebody and then they just turn on me and shoot me. So I don't know if it's because of that glitch, because they have better gear now, or whatever the case may be, but I did notice that has probably affected the game. So
there's a number of things they changed that led to more people going rogue. Like they lowered the penalty for like getting killed while you're rogue is a lot lower, so you don't like lose entire levels if you go rogue and then end up dying. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of things like that. And then exactly what you were saying, like people have gotten geared more, but I mean anytime you go in alone, you just instantly become a target.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But okay, let's go ahead.
One more though. You forgot another beta.
What?
Fable. Anybody get on that before it closed out?
Yeah, let's not even talk about that, man. Because I never got into it in the first goddamn place. But let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and talk about. I know recently there's not, like I said, there's not much news going on this week. But I know GameStop. What was it? GameStop? I believe it was GameStop. In their financials, I guess they kind of. I guess it's kind of a leak. They kind of talked about possibly being another new consoles, not necessarily new consoles, but like altered consoles, like a slim version of the Xbox and the PlayStation, whatever version they're coming out with. So I know we've been hearing those type of rumors for the last probably few months anyway about the PS4K, whatever they want to call it, and maybe the next Xbox One. But I kind of want to get you guys' opinion on. You guys still think those are valid claims? You guys think at this point they're pretty much a foregone conclusion? So I'm gonna go ahead and start with Zaz on this one. What do you think about that information?
Oh, the least interesting one to start with on this one. That's whatever. If it comes out, it's probably coming out. I think like everybody confirmed that with all the leaks and stuff like that. It's probably coming out. If it does, whatever. I got my Xbox. I'm probably not going to change anything. Got my PlayStation. Probably not going to change anything. Whatever. Whatever happens, happens.
All right, cool. That's why I went to you first. Zaz. All right, GKB, what do you think about that, man?
Real quick before I get into that, I want to shout out to Southbound, Jay, Fox, Slap, and the 30-plus people watching us right now. We appreciate it.
Shout out to everybody.
Out already.
For sure, man. They're in here holding us down. Appreciate you guys showing up.
Yeah, for sure.
Man. Go ahead, Paul.
I mean, there's so much information coming out right now about like these consoles, like the FCC filings for the 2 Xboxes. I was one of those guys that said, yeah, I'm all for the the upgrade and all that kind of stuff, and like I still am. If that comes out and if that's a thing, I'll definitely probably pick one up. But I think as far as the Xbox is concerned, I think we're going to be seeing a Slim and probably an Elite Slim versions coming out. They're definitely coming for sure. So yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll be down for an Elite version. Okay, cool. What do you think, Asthmatic? What you think about the information, brother?
I'm excited for them for like a number of different reasons. I definitely do believe that they're going to be coming. There was something with the FCC filings that there was sort of an NDA that accompanied those filings that pretty much expired the week after E3, which just says, hey, whatever this stuff is that these products that Xbox or Microsoft is going to be manufacturing, they're keeping it secret until immediately following the biggest gaming, event of the year. So I definitely think we're going to see, if not a Slim, just a newer hardware set for the Xbox One, and I am excited for that because the Xbox One is physically a large console, and so if there's anyone who ever has to move it around a lot, that sucks. So if we can get a smaller console for those people, that's awesome. Likely means that the price point of the what I'm going to call the version 1 Xbox One, I guess, that price point will probably come down, which will open up the availability of the console to more people. If anyone is going to be buying the new Slim, and trading in or getting rid of their existing consoles, we're going to see those available as well to more people. So ultimately, adding more stuff like that, of more variability of hardware, means that more people are going to be able to experience Xbox One and are going to get to be a part of Xbox Live, and that's super exciting for me. I'm always excited to see more people being involved and getting to be a part of this. So I'm excited for that reason.
And that kind of brings up another thing too, that the answer that you just gave me. It's kind of, so I want to turn this into like a two-part question. Do you guys see this being just a standard as far as, okay, let's wait 2 to 3 years, then let's put out another version of the same console, like a slimmer version? I guess we can start with Predator on that too. Answer that part of the question too, because I know we've seen it last generation with the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, but it's starting to feel like it's kind of starting to feel like that may be just something that's kind of a normal occurrence with the consoles this generation. So I'm going to get your opinion. Answer if you can answer that part too, Fred.
Okay, we'll do. I think this is like the worst kept secret ever. I mean, we already know there's a Slim. I mean, you have to be sleeping up on the rock to not assume we're going to get another console now. I think the biggest question is what the other FCC filing was, and I think GKB hit it on the head. It's probably going to be like an elite version as well.
You think a different hardware setup, maybe a little bit more powerful, possibly, or same exact console, just configured differently?
I don't know how that's going to work with games and stuff like that, and resolution and stuff. But I mean, I could see that happening too. But I don't. From what Phil Spencer was saying, like he's not interested in doing like a
1.5.
1.5. He's rather just go straight into the next generation. So I think the answer to the second part of your question with that, what I just gave you, is that yes, we are going to start seeing this. It's going to be a trend. If they can make it cheaper to build, then they will do that by using smaller components and stuff like that. And so you'll see this probably for the next couple of generations. So.
Okay, cool.
Wasn't there already an Elite console, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, but it's the same.
It's the regular one.
It's the same box.
I know it had like the
different
1
hard
terabyte
drive.
hybrid solid state, and nobody really, they didn't really produce them.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
because that was the only difference, is it had the quote hybrid drive, and I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but it wasn't. I don't think the solid state portion of the drive was very large, and it was pretty much only the OS and like.
It was like claiming like 20% faster boot times and stuff or something like that, which.
But like that was it.
Not much.
Yeah, like if they're gonna do that, I want you to be able to choose like what you put on the SSD, but ideally, let's go only SSDs if we're talking about new hardware versions.
Well, we also heard Microsoft has like a Elite portfolio, so we could also see a possible like bundle thing where the Elite's coming with maybe an Elite headset, the mouse and keyboard kind of thing, controller. There's a lot of cool stuff they could possibly do.
Yeah, that's been thrown around too. We've been kind of talking about that on Twitter and just on Xbox and regular chats and stuff like that, where they could really take that Elite name or that portion of Xbox and really push that. You can have an Elite headset, you can have an Elite controller, and then do a bundle. It makes sense to do it all together and say this is our Elite bundle version. Whatever the case may be, I'd rather do it. But I mean, because you've already taken the steps to kind of go that direction with the controller, and it being really, really, really successful, I can see them slapping that Elite name on a couple different things, like a headset, on obviously like the console. So it kind of makes sense for them to do that, though.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that, too, because now you say that like with the keyboard and mouse, isn't that a different Wi-Fi range? Yeah. So maybe that's what maybe it's like a Bluetooth,
Exactly.
And you guys also got to remember, too, that anniversary update's coming. So that may be
more functionality.
More functionality also, too. So Okay, great. All right, cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on from this particular topic. Everybody, by the way, go ahead and throw your questions in the chat. We're going to be taking those earlier. We usually wait to the end of the show to throw them in the chat, but go ahead and throw them in the chat. If you guys want to go ahead and ask me or anybody here on the panel questions, go ahead and throw them in there. We'll talk about those. So the next topic I want to kind of go over is and this is something that I really haven't gotten a chance to talk about. We've talked about it in private, but I really haven't gotten a chance to talk about it in a live stream here, and that's the FanFest event that's coming up. It was announced, and it is confirmed that they are going to be doing a FanFest event. So I want to go ahead and go around the panel, talk about maybe who's going, who's trying to go. What do you guys, you guys obviously most of us are excited for it, but what are some of your feelings about the FanFest event and what it means to Microsoft and E3 for them to have another FanFest event. So we're going to go ahead and start with Rand said he'd be right back. He had to go run to the door real quick. So we're going to go ahead and start with Zaz on this one also too, Zaz.
Another one I don't care about. Yeah, well,
Hey, well, hey.
Sweep it under the rug.
You know what? You know what? I'm going to pass on you, Zaz. We're gonna wait. I'll wait till we start taking the other questions, and then I'll get back to you, Zaz.
Okay. So I'll wrap around.
Yeah. So, Matt, ask Matt. Go ahead, brother. What do you feel about the FanFest, and are you attending it? And how do you feel like that correlates Microsoft and E3, and how does that work for them?
I am definitely going to be there. I attended FanFest last year, and it was one of the greatest decisions that I've ever made. To just like I heard about it a couple days before, and I was like, I'm getting in my car. I'm going to LA. I gotta be there, and it was amazing. I can't remember the last time that I felt so respected and cared for by a big corporation like Microsoft. They treated us like kings and queens for all of E3. So my message to anyone out there who's on the fence about it is try to go. It's definitely worth it. They pull out all the stops. They don't hold anything back. Last year they advertised FanFest as come to the Microsoft store in Century City, be there Saturday morning, the first 500 people in line get a pass for the Microsoft press conference. That was it. That was what everyone showed up for. It was a huge event. People showed up Friday night. We all spent the night in line. It was amazing. Got to hang out with tons of other gamers, not to mention all the amazing people from Microsoft who were walking the line all night. And next morning, we got our passes. It was a great time. Everybody went home. When we're having breakfast, which they fed us breakfast before the Microsoft press conference, Phil Spencer comes out into the room and says, hey, by the way, we're going to go in here and do the show in a couple minutes, and then after that we have E3 passes, full passes, for all 500 of you. So it was just such an awesome time to get to be so close to Xbox, to the core of the company, and to really see these people work and to get to be alongside them and experience that. And E3 is an amazing show, and as years have gone on, it's gotten even more difficult to attend and even more difficult to be a part of. And I really appreciate everything that Xbox has done to try to bring the gamers back into E3 and to really get us there, because it's amazing. And I feel like everyone deserves the opportunity to go and take advantage of FanFest, because it's worth all the effort.
Nice, fantastic. Let's go ahead and get your opinion on the FanFest, GKB.
Me and She-Wolf have this on our bucket list to go to E3 one year. We're trying really hard to get there this year. We don't know if it's going to be in the cards. It's not really a money situation. It's other things. But, Microsoft is, from what I hear, is doubling it up to possibly 1,000 people this year because they had 500 last year. So
wow, I didn't even hear about that. That's fucking awesome. Jesus.
They said it was going to be bigger.
Yeah, they said it was going to be bigger. So, and that's a testament to Microsoft always, taking care of their fans and looking out for them and giving them the world. So, I'm really excited. I'm really happy for anyone that gets in there. It's going to be a fantastic time.
Great, cool. What do you think about it, Pred?
I mean, I'm not going, so I'm going to be a little salty to the 1,000 people get a chance to go. But, I mean, I like looking at that when they had it. They were talking about it last year and the year before at the reveal and stuff like that. But I think it's good they do that for the fans. Unfortunately, it's only 1,000 people, but they can't fit everybody in there because I know everybody would go if they could. It's a little too far for me here in Texas, but definitely be checking it out and watching it. And if there's a way to apply, I think you have to be there to get in. I'm not sitting in line for 2 days or whatever, But if I can get online and fill out something to get a pass, I'd be happy to go if I got the opportunity to go.
Yeah, for sure.
As long as are the dancing girls gonna be there?
Yes, they are.
That would be awesome.
I have to. I see Southbound in the chat. We need to borrow your little green phone, South. Talk to Phil, man.
Green phone.
Dancing ladies, man. I could bring some too, but they're not as classy as those women.
Bullet wounds.
Hey. Just playing, everybody. All right, let's go ahead. Let me see if you back yet, Rand. Oh no, he still has his mic muted. Okay, Rand will be back in a minute.
He's back yet.
Yeah, he has something that he had to do really quick. So let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Let's talk about.
May I butt
in
real quick?
Go ahead.
Well, before we move on from talking about FanFest, I do want to point out that even if I don't get a chance to get in, I will definitely be around LA, and I'll be doing daily videos on my channel. I know PTK and GKB at least are going to be in that same boat. Wherever they are, we're going to be doing content for you guys throughout the entirety of E3, whether we're in videos together if we're there, or we're doing stuff remotely like this. However, just know that no matter what our personal situation with FanFest turns out to be, we're going to be delivering all of the E3 news to you guys as quickly as we possibly can.
Definitely. Yeah, we're gonna be doing something cool, and it just really, money and just availability, different things like that. So we're gonna figure it out. If we don't get a chance to all go, because we had actually planned on all just going and meeting up there. If we don't all get to make it and meet up, we'll probably be doing like a live stream the day of Microsoft's E3. We'll do like daily videos just covering everything for the 3-day event. So we'll be giving you guys something between the three of us. As far as content, whether or not we're there or not, so you guys can definitely look forward to that. So let's go ahead and move on from this particular topic. Let's talk about Titanfall 2. I damn near forgot, honestly. So thank you for reminding me, GKB, about Titanfall 2, and that is coming down the pipeline. We've seen a small little short trailer about Titanfall 2. Only difference I saw was they kind of threw the sword in the ground, which is awesome. I'd love to have a fucking 50-foot sword on my Titan. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and just talk about Titanfall 2. What are you guys' expectations? Just how do you guys feel about the game now? Is it okay for me to start with you, Zaz?
Yes, actually. This time I have something to
Volunteers.
this time I have something to talk about. In this respect, Respawn, EA, they have something to do with this Titanfall right now. They have a lot of mistakes that they need to make up for from the first one. Content-wise and otherwise, because they were so on point with their universe, their gameplay. Though I would like to see a little bit more than 6v6. I'm kind of wondering if the whole AI is coming back, like the cannon fodder kind of thing, and if it's going to work into it, where they'll kind of maybe put like more of like Halo style, where they're not just immediately like destroyable, useless background pieces, because they really are. I mean, they're horrible in that game, and all I'm hoping for this game is that they take out the targeting pistol. And that's it. I hated that.
I hate that damn pistol too.
It.
Very, very. It seems it's kind of a lazy weapon. Like
it is a lazy weapon for lazy
make a gun where you don't have to even bother aiming at anybody. You
bunch of noobs.
Let the gun do all the work. So yeah, that's one of the things that they should.
It's gonna be awesome if they do the space magic thing. I know people are pretty upset about that, but I am not.
Okay, well you're a big space guy anyway. You like all the
I am a big space guy and a big magic guy, hence the Zaz in the name.
Boom. Definitely. So I'm hyped for the game. Period. I don't know how. I mean, since it's multi-plat now, there's obviously some things that are gonna have to change. I mean, I did the whole cloud thing where they were utilizing, the Microsoft's cloud for the AI and things. I don't know how that's going to take or come into play for this next game. So there's a lot of questions definitely surrounding the game. So let's go ahead and GKB, what's your opinion on Titanfall 2, man? You got some expectations?
Mother effing Titanfall 2, bro. I am so ready for this game. Yeah, I mean, when I saw this teaser, man, I was just like so hyped, dude. Seeing the sword. All I can think about is like meleeing some dude in the chest and killing the pilot inside, and maybe cutting off arms or something else. She-Wolf had a really cool idea. What if they had like powers on them, like electricity or something, so you can pretty much EMP like a Titan or something like that. That would be so dope. There's also some there was like some images of possibly a Titan like running on the wall or something like that. Which, if that's true, I mean, the verticality and the size of the maps are just going to be massive. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm super stoked, ready for this game. Sorry for every other shooter out there, but I will be on that like all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. I don't know. I didn't see that image about there's a Titan. Anybody else see that? Anybody else see that?
I heard of it. I haven't seen it, but I heard
Yeah,
about it.
it's like a blurred out image, and a lot of people on Reddit and GAF and all that kind of stuff kind of like reconstructed it so it looks kind of like a Titan. We don't know, but that's what I'm speculating.
Speculation.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Speculation. Definitely. Okay. Cool. Matt or Asthmatic, what do you think, man? What's your expectation for Titanfall 2, man? You excited? You think they need to make some changes?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what they're bringing in with the new game, and like the changes that I really want to see are more on the long term side of things, because like when Titanfall first came out, I was super into it. I played pretty much only that game for the first month and a half after it came out, but then as time went on, I played other games. When I eventually came back to Titanfall, it was almost unplayable because there became this rift in the community where there were people who had only played Titanfall really since it came out, and they were max level and everything, and they were extremely skilled, and they had all of the best everything, and they knew really what to do on every map. And then there were the more casual people, and it was just impossible for us to play. Like every game, you just got matched up with people maxed out who just stomped on you. And so in the long-term thing, that's the change that I want to see is maybe a better matchmaking system like that, where you're getting matched more closely with people of your skill level, or just in-game level or rank. But seeing them bringing in things like swords, melee combat, sounds like something that would be awesome. And when I think of a game like Titanfall, where you've got, you're a pilot, but then you're getting into this thing, and then the fact that we have things like the HoloLens and, the Rift, and maybe even the HTC Vive coming like in gaming globally in the future, I'm just excited to see what could be going on there, if we might be getting more experiences like that and seeing more of those peripherals being involved. I don't know. Just a thought.
More excited for the action figures than anything, in honesty.
Another thing too, in Titanfall, I always kind of felt like the Titan you should have to earn a Titan. You shouldn't just give everybody one, because when the Titans drop, it changes the game dramatically. Like you go from just running around willy-nilly to having to hide half the time from the Titan. So I don't think. I mean, if you're down at the bottom of the leaderboard, I get everybody plays the game a different way. Not everybody plays to be top of the leaderboard. What I'm saying is that I feel like there should be some kind of earning system. Like you should have to earn a Titan, because it's pretty powerful once you get one. If you know how to really utilize the abilities and move around the map, you could literally be in that Titan all game. You know what I'm saying? So and it changes the dynamic of the game so greatly. I feel like you should have to earn it. So that's another thing that I wish they changed. But all right, so Rand, let's go ahead and get your opinion on Titanfall 2. What you looking forward to? What's your opinion?
I'm looking forward to it, but what I'm most looking forward to it about is a single player. That is the one thing I thought was missing from the first one, and it's the one thing I thought they absolutely needed to put in to one up, as a sequel, bigger, better. Respawn or the old Infinity Ward has always been like pretty damn good with making single player campaigns. Call of Duty 2 was great. Modern Warfare 1 was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 1 was amazing. So I would love to see what they can do with Titans and all that stuff. Like, I mean, how would a single player campaign kind of like actually work with that? Like, so I'm interested in seeing how they do that. I mean, the multiplayer, the multiplayer is going to be phenomenal because they know what they're doing. They're great multiplayer devs. But
I want to say something before you move on, and I don't mean to cut you off. Till this day, Titanfall has some of the most responsive controls I've ever felt on like a first-person shooter.
Amen.
Like, they are so tight. Like, the controls are just like crisp. Like, everything you're doing, the transitions and the animation and the way you move around the map, there's no stutter, no lag or anything. It's just so crisp, and I really want to applaud them on the fact that they've done that, because it almost when you go play like Black Ops 3 and you have the wall running and the boosting, it feels like you feel like a fucking Johnny Five or somebody, because you feel so stiff, trying to run around the map compared to somebody compared to a game like Titanfall, where everything feels so natural, and it's almost like they stuck Mirror's Edge or something inside of the game, like the way the controls work. and it's so good. But go ahead and finish your point, Rand. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Right. I mean, it's just. I think a lot of people are disappointed that it's not exclusive to Xbox, like the first one was.
Uh-huh.
We knew that though.
Well, yeah. Well, people
it's
we knew
EA,
that,
man.
but people
We
didn't want to
hoped. Some
believe
people
it
hoped.
though. There's a difference between knowing and believe. Like
Yeah.
people deep down knew, they just didn't want to believe. Right.
They're still waiting for something else to come out. Too. You know?
So, I mean, I just want the game to be really good. I mean, I think the bigger question is like when it's coming out, because it seems like this year is kind of jam packed at the end. I'm kind of thinking the game's coming out earlier than you would think. I'm thinking September. I'm thinking
Really?
it even comes out before Gears does,
Hmm.
because Battlefield 5 is all supposed to come out this year.
That's all. They got a lot of competition
Battlefield 5 is
later. We
more-
get to another Call of Duty, whatever
Yeah.
the other call, whatever.
Well, it's
Call
going
of
to be
Duty.
interesting, if they release Call of Duty in space, and then the following week Battlefield 5 comes out in World War I. Like that's kind of be an interesting.
A good matchup.
Yeah.
You'll definitely see where the people, you'll definitely see the disparity between what people actually wanted, because I don't know about that whole Call of Duty in space thing, but
Oh, I hope it dies this year.
I can tell you.
you want everything in space, as we already know.
No, not Call of Duty. That's the one thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I got
So, I mean,
Destiny for that. Sorry.
yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. All right, so I saw a few questions in here. Everybody, we're gonna start taking some questions. Hopefully, I got to everybody. Everybody was able to discuss that particular topic. I want to shout out to Southbound in the chat. She Wolf always holding it down. Crap's in here. Crap Gamers in here.
What's
Shout
up,
out
Crap?
Crap. Foxfire. Bunch of other people. Everybody in the chat holding it down. Appreciate it. So we're gonna be taking some questions right now. So any questions, everybody, just throw them in there, and we'll get to them right now. I saw some earlier before we went to that last topic. Okay, so I got a topic here from Slap Happy Gamer. Shout out Slap Happy for showing love today. He said, with MS having all these issues with IPs going to PC, he says, do you guys think this will have any effect on the Windows 10 store that just launched? And do you trust purchasing a game through Windows 10 now? I don't play on PC at all,
let me
so
answer that
I'm
first.
really talking to Predator and Zaz and Rand, some of you guys that play on PC a little bit. So go ahead, Pred. Go ahead and throw that question to you.
So I just started getting into PC gaming, not nothing big or anything like that, but I really wanted to play Quantum Break on Windows 10, and I did a podcast I think last week on this, and it's like I was really upset with this whole release, how they did this whole release for Quantum Break. Like, you got your code almost a week later, even though other people who were able to go out and purchase purchase Quantum Break and play it that day, and the game, I will say it does not look very good on Windows 10. And if they're going to continue to release games on Windows 10, they have to make sure they're actually decent looking games and they play like what PC gamers are wanting to play. So I like the whole cross-buy thing. I don't think they're going to continue to do that, though. I like the idea of being able to play on my Xbox and then come back and then jump on my PC and play at the same time and pick up right where I left off. But I think the release of Quantum Break, I think it was like an afterthought, and maybe that's why it came out broken on Windows 10. But I do think it's going to affect if they can't get something down packed, and it should have been Quantum Break, but it wasn't. But if they can't get a game to run on Xbox and Windows 10, simultaneously, and they look, like what PC gamers are looking forward to, then the Windows 10 store is never going to take off.
Yeah, okay. Fair assessment. Anybody else got any opinions on that question? Anybody else?
Yeah.
If it's for real, am I wrong, or did Gears Ultimate Edition also have issues?
Yep, it did.
Whenever it released,
Yeah.
This is a genius way to sell Xboxes for all the PC sticklers. 'Cause, hey, you want these games? You're gonna get them, but they're gonna be broke as F. And here you go. So would you rather spend all this time messing around with your NVIDIA card? I don't think so. Go out and buy an Xbox. Genius.
Secret plot revealed.
Yeah.
Nice.
You
Yeah.
get exposed, Phil.
I think like the whole cross buy is pretty cool. As far as me as like a YouTuber, because I like the whole do comparison videos with Xbox and PC versions. But like what Predator was saying, they can't come out broken. And my biggest complaint was, I pre-ordered. Their big thing was like, hey, you get the Windows 10, but why did I have to wait days after the launch to get my Windows 10 version? I understand that's a free version, but still, come on, like you should have given it to me day one.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys are right. I think if it's gonna, if you're gonna release the game and it come out broken, not working, that's a serious issue because we all know Windows has a issue. They have an issue with this gaming on that particular platform, the Windows 10, and it's always been shaky. That's why a lot of PC guys never embraced it when they did. What was it called? Games for Windows back in the day, I think it was called, or something like that. It was a huge disaster. Windows Live, it was a disaster. And they really need to get that together. So we'll see. I mean, maybe they'll do it with some future games coming up. So we'll definitely see. So let's see. We got some other questions here in the chat. Okay, we got one here from Master Blaster 89. Shout out Master Blaster for hanging out with us today. He said, "What game can Microsoft use for gold next month? That's on the level of Sunset Overdrive." So I guess I'll answer this first, and then I'll just give it to whoever wants to answer on the panel. So we've been talking about Dead Rising and Rise forever. So I think that one of those games needs to be games for gold at some point this generation. I don't know why they're waiting so long. Like nobody's playing them at this point. So I don't think Crytek or Capcom is making a lot of money off either of those games. So I feel like one of those two would be a great fit to be a games with gold at this point. I mean, you can go to GameStop right now and get both of them for little or nothing at this point. So I think that would be a great fit. Rise or Dead Rising 3. So we'll go ahead and whoever else wants to answer that or their opinion, go ahead.
So what was the question?
It was about games for gold next month. Master Blaster asked, what can Microsoft use for games for gold next month? That's on the level of like Sunset Overdrive that they did this month.
Well, Sunset Overdrive is one of the best games on the system, period. I wouldn't necessarily say Rise or Dead Rising are on that level, but Rise and Dead Rising are also like games from the beginning of the gen that probably don't sell at all anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to give people a AAA experience, because it seems that's what people want. Like anytime PlayStation Plus games come out and it's just a bunch of indie games, or anytime Xbox does it and it's indie games, people complain, even if said indie games are good, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you give them, I mean, hell, there's a contingent of PlayStation people that want Knack to be free. It's because Knack was a expensive title.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think you can give one that's as good as Sunset, but I think if you gave one that like Rise or Dead Rising, I think people would be extremely happy, just because those are AAA experiences. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting because I never thought they'd give Sunset away for free. Like,
yeah,
that
I didn't.
is...
We didn't. The funny thing, Rand, about that is we did the podcast that week. GKB could back me up on this, and there was somebody in the chat because we asked that exact question.
Yeah, it was like Sunset.
Somebody said Sunset Overdrive, and we looked at it like, nah, that's not happening. Like, there's nowhere in the hell
They would never.
They would never do that. And lo and behold, it shit happened. So you never know, what could happen. But you're absolutely, you hit the nail on the head, Rand. I don't think Sunset Overdrive is probably the most slept on IP this generation, and it's a fantastic game. It's free now, so everybody should own it. Everybody should be able to play it. But it's a shame on everybody that's getting it free that didn't go buy it in the first place, because you guys should have went out and supported that game. The game was fantastic. I know a lot of times new IPs, people don't really like to, especially with this generation. It's like people don't really like to, they stick their foot in the pool but don't want to jump in. They kind of want to test the waters. Well, I'll wait till my friend plays it, and I'll see what he says about it. That'll determine whether or not I'll buy it. The game was great. The game was fantastic. Fresh game, new. It's a brand new IP. I love it. Hopefully, we see some more from them. Insomniac Xbox collaboration. But anybody else want to take a shot at maybe games next month?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think like Dead Rising and Rise would definitely be up there. Also, like in the chat, I saw like Horizon 2. That would be a fantastic one as well. But honestly, like the last few months, they've been giving us some great games like Lords of the Fallen, Wolf Among Us, Sunset Overdrive. You know what I want? I want them to keep doing what they're doing every month, because that's going to show value in Xbox Live, and that's fantastic to me.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing is, and you guys will probably all slap me because I'm pretty sure you guys played it already. The Wolf Among Us is I was stuck playing that game for like 2 days.
Game
awesome.
is dope.
It's some
Yeah.
really,
That story
really.
is amazing.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started. I'm sitting. I had my popcorn. I was damn near half playing, half watching. Like, it was crazy, dude. Like I slapped myself for not getting the game earlier because the game was fantastic, and I really appreciate see a game like that where a lot of people that probably wouldn't take the time to go play it. And for them to make it gold and me be able to get it free and play it and go through the experience, it's awesome. Because I probably wouldn't have gone back and like purchased the game to play or anything. So the fact that I got to experience that is awesome. So you're right about keep doing what they're doing. Go ahead, Zaz. I know you said you had something too.
Oh yeah, I want Master Chief Collection, Zoo Tycoon the Deluxe Edition, and
Good call,
Mass
man.
Effect 2 and BioShock. There.
Okay.
That's the next one. I don't know why I threw the Zoo Tycoon in there.
Master,
That one was a
they
joke.
gotta give out
All
games that they gotta give out games that actually work. So Master Chief
Uh-oh.
Collection
There
is
you
a
go.
no
There
go.
you go.
Correct.
There you go. Low blow.
Now this is for May, right? We talking about May?
Yeah, this is for next month. This for next month.
I don't know. What's the biggest game that you could throw in there that's gonna grab my attention from Uncharted?
He said what?
Red Dead.
Well, no. Well, if you gave that for backwards compatible,
Yeah, but for like a games with
like
gold,
if they did Red Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 for backwards compatible, and then what Xbox One games could you throw in there?
he said Forza Horizon 2 would be kind of big. I mean,
I'd like Forza 6.
Forza 5 maybe.
No, for the 6.
Five,
Man.
not 6. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have to do 5 first. You can't do
Yeah.
Horizon before 5.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and take a few more questions. Okay, got one here from Majin Tavon. Shout out to Majin Tavon. He said, do you guys think Titanfall will keep dedicated servers and the cloud features since it's multiplayer? Now, we kind of went over this a little bit when we were just talking about Titanfall, but I'm going to go ahead and go around the panel and let everybody get a shot to answer this. We're going to go ahead and start with you live. Do you think it's going to dedicated servers, multiplayer, or you think that's all going now?
Well, no, they'll still have dedicated servers. Will they be Azure servers? That's the question. Fuck if I know. I mean, I would hope so, but I don't know if Sony would allow it. That's the question. Because don't they have to? They're kind of like, man, fuck y'all. We'll do what we do. We'll cut off our nose to spite our face. Like, I don't know if Sony has that option where they could be like, nah, fuck that. Give us the EA servers. Microsoft can use whatever they want, but we're not using that shit. But I doubt it. I think it's all or nothing for EA. It's like, no, everybody uses Azure or everybody uses fucking EA. We're not going to have one running better than the other, and then people saying, well, we're not going to buy that over there because it's running better, so.
That's true. Good point. And I want to specifically ask you something, Rand, because you may have more information about this. But when Microsoft went to when Respawn, because I know they went to Sony first, correct? For the game, for the first Titanfall, they went to Sony first. Sony turned it down, whatever the case may be, and then Microsoft picked it up. Do you think, Rand, that there was something at the time when they made the first one? Because when you go in, I'm pretty sure Respawn knew they were going to make a second one at that point. Like they knew they wanted to do make a second one. Do you think there was something in place that they're going to give Microsoft some kind of special treatment due to the fact that they did kind of like really help make the original Titanfall? Like they really funded it. They put a lot of resources behind a particular game. Do you think there's something for Microsoft in particular, like they get lead platform or anything like that possibly?
He's muted.
Oh, he's muted. Okay, he may have stepped away. Okay. Well, anybody can answer that question if you guys have more information than I do.
Yeah, sure. I'll go for it. I think they do, honestly. And She-Wolf and I were doing watching a bunch of videos, like the trailer on like PlayStation and Xbox, and it's kind of funny that the PlayStation, when they were showing the teaser, they didn't have like any of their PlayStation logos, but on the Xbox YouTube, they do have all their logos all over the trailer as it's playing. So what I think is going to happen, and Phil Spencer's come out and said this too, he's like, we'll let anybody use the Azure. So I think they've locked down the marketing rights, possibly some DLC. I think they're also going to let everybody use the Azure server so they can have the AI and everything in the game. I think they had it all locked down.
Okay. All right. Cool. What Asthmatic, what do you think about that, man? You think Still dedicated servers? Any changes you think coming up?
I mean, like what Paul just said, I would love to see that if that can be available to everyone, to give everyone that best experience possible, regardless of platform. But if that's not going to happen, if that service isn't going to be available, if those specific servers aren't going to be available to, the non-Xbox One platforms, then, maybe there would be some type of thing when you go in multiplayer where you can say, I want to be a part of multi-platform matchmaking, or I would just want to play with Xbox One players, and then in that case, you would have, the Xbox dedicated servers, and you could have all that if that's the way it goes. But my ultimate hope is exactly what GKB said, that we can have that experience available to everyone. But those are just sort of the details of how multiplayer is going to play out in the future.
Anything that's gonna, whatever's easiest for the devs, they're gonna most likely do. So whatever's easier for them, which would be the easiest thing would be is just Microsoft allow everybody to use the Azure server, so that way we get the dedicated servers and the stability that we're used to having on a Titanfall game. So I'm hoping that's what they do, and I'm actually really, really hoping that Microsoft does get some kind of lead. They should. I don't see why they wouldn't. But you never know. Things do change. But go ahead, Zaz, if you have an opinion about the dedicated servers.
As long as it works on release, I don't give a crap about what they do. Because now that's my biggest fear about every game I buy is it going to work? And I feel like that's a fair
it's a fair
this gen, which is horrible, but whatever. As long as it works, do whatever you need to respawn, because that's all I care about.
They'll probably charge a cheaper fee for it, to EA to use it. Because they're trying to do that whole cross-platform shit anyway. So if they could just cut Sony out of it, as far as making them have excuses for why they won't do it. Like, nah, we ain't trying to pay for that shit. Well, don't worry about it. EA's paying for it. Oh well, so then they have to come up with a better excuse other than business practices. Well, motherfucker, you're not paying shit. So what's your excuse now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Pred, you got any opinions on that?
Yeah, I would love to see, cross-platform play with this game, so we can play against some PS4 guys. But I'm kind of like Zaz, man. As long as it works, I'm not really for or against it. So I really don't have an opinion. I'm gonna get the game anyway, so it doesn't matter what I play on.
Yeah, that's it just seems like there's. If the simple way to do it is the best way to do it. Open it up for everybody, because from there, any changes, you can really only lose ground. The situation's only going to get worse.
Yeah, that's true. Great point. Ryan, you back yet?
Doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like he's back yet. Yeah, it's still muted. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Okay, we're going to take 2 more questions, and we're going to go ahead and call it. Let me see so everybody just throw any questions. We're going to take 2 more. Throw your questions in the chat. Anybody else that has any particular questions? Let's see here, and I did ban that guy, by the way. Everybody, sorry about that. We don't do the spamming in the chat, man. We all here for gaming purposes, not to bother the hell out of everybody. So, let's see what else we got here. Any new questions coming? I think there was some further back, everybody. Yeah, I'm looking right now, so. Yeah, so we need a couple questions, people. So let's go ahead and get some questions out. I know you guys got something y'all want to talk about or hear us talk about our opinions on. Let's see. Okay, so you know what? Since I don't want to take too long. All right. So I do have a topic also too. And I want to talk about, since we're really big on, and we've always talked about this. I know in the Xbox community and here on YouTube about timing and when games should come out, release windows. How do you guys feel like, especially on Microsoft's part and Xbox's part this year, do you guys feel like they're making changes in the right direction as far as when to put out the games and the spacing of games currently? I know we're only in April and we're only 4 months into the year, but how do you guys feel about where they're putting games at and where we're possibly going to see games at? Do you guys feel like they're going in the right direction, or do you guys feel like, because we know previously the last few years they've had some issues with putting games in the right place and things like that? So I'm going to ask the panel, how do you guys feel about that going forward? So I want to ask you, start with you, GKB, about that.
Yeah, I think they're doing a better job overall for sure. My worry now is, some of these games got pushed back that were early in the year, and now they're later in the year. So now my worry is that we're gonna have like this jam-packed like holiday. Now, if anything gets a delay and doesn't hit their time, where's it gonna go at that point? That's kind of my worry right now. I think, if we can get like Recore in August, we're gonna get Gears, Titanfall. It's gonna be tough to like move anything around at that point. So they either have to hit it or it's gonna be pushed to 2017 right now. So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Matt, what do you think about that, bro?
Well, I mean, it actually. Sorry to answer your question with a question, but how much, like, obviously for first-party titles, they get a lot of that say, but looking at titles overall, I mean, how much of a say does Microsoft or Xbox get telling a third-party developer, like,
Well,
this is
I
when
mean,
your title's going to drop?
yeah, that was kind of open-ended, but I just meant mainly like first-party titles because they don't really have any say-so over like the third-party stuff,
Yeah.
multi-plat stuff. But I mean, as far as their first-party titles from here forward.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know. I haven't looked that far forward, honestly, towards the whole end of the year. So far, from my perspective, that's all just kind of still out there. A lot of that stuff's still up in the air. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes, but I definitely agree that, planning from the beginning to have all your stuff at the end of the year creates a potential problem because then, like you said, GKB, if you got any delays, you're out of 2016.
yeah.
Good point.
I mean, also we don't know like because we know E3's coming up and there's going to be some surprises there. And usually, like last year, they had these games coming out that were at E3 coming out later this year. So that's another thing. Like, what do we don't know that's coming?
Yeah.
That's true. You got to
Yeah,
take
that was. Yeah, I think the guys over at Bethesda did a good job with that. Like 5 months on Fallout 4 from announcement to launch, and the game sold great. It did great. They had a smooth launch and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, we could see more of that. But then it does also bring back as well if games are planned for holiday and end up getting pushed to say the first couple months into Q1 of 2017. We were talking a lot about that in the beginning of this year. Like, well, we just had holiday, and now here we are in January, February, and what's coming out? What's going on? You have that like Dead Zone, and maybe we can see games coming in right there, and seeing what that does. Because we don't see a lot of that currently.
That's true. Good point. All right, Zaz, what's your opinion on that, man?
Yeah, I mean, as long as games start getting a little bit more spaced out, because I'm seeing finally this year we're not having a summer dead space, basically, for lack of a better term, and I'm happy about that. Yeah, it is a good game. I've been replaying it. It was on the brain because I was GKB. Do you remember when I was livid last holiday season because Halo and Fallout were right on, and Battlefront were right on top of each other? Yeah. I was so frustrated because I couldn't like play any of them. So I'm happy, and I think that it's been, which is weird for me because I'm usually not. And so I'm glad about this that people are getting the timing right. Again, we're probably going to see it this year though, if it's Titanfall, Battlefield, and then that garbage Call of Duty going up all against each other. But time will tell.
Good point, everybody. Okay, Fred, what's your opinion on that, brother, about the spacing and the timing of these games?
I think the first year, like when Sunset came out, and they just threw it out there to compete with those other games, like they really screwed that up because it really was. It wasn't my kind of game, but I know a lot of other people liked it. It was just placed in a bad spot, and just like Rise of Tomb Raider, I think was placed in a bad spot last year because they're trying to get it out before the holiday season, and you have this gap here in the summer where there's nothing out. Not first party stuff anyway that's coming out. So they're getting better at it, but I think right now we don't really know what's coming out. We know we don't know the dates. Like we can name off the games, but we don't know the dates right now. So it's really hard to kind of gauge that right now. We know like the third party stuff that's coming out. So now they're kind of forced to work around those. Yeah. So they have that ability to do that. So that's a good thing, but there's so much stuff up in the air right now with the games that have been talked about that we really don't even know if they're coming out this year.
There are some games that like we were talking about
Recore,
Recore. Those are the two big ones that we have no idea about when those games may be dropping. They could drop, they could get up on E3 stage and say, see if these playable tomorrow. or some shit like, you know what I'm saying? So you never know. I guess it does one of two things. It affords them a lot of flexibility, which is cool, but it also the room for error becomes really small when you don't like give yourself that heads up. You don't give like fans a heads up, because if you finally get around to saying, okay, here's the date, and then something happens and it misses that date, then you have a problem. Like GKB was saying, where you may see something pushed to the following year. And this generation, it's been happening like on all platforms where things are, they're announced, and then you see the date, then the date gets pushed another month or two, and then so you never know when stuff happens. So let's go ahead. You back yet, Rand?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead, Fred. Go ahead and finish.
One more thing. Another thing people got to think about too. Like we're going through it right now. Like betas. When you have a beta, we have like beta and DLC all out this week, and the next week it's it's jam packed right now. Like if you've downloaded all the stuff that's come out in the last week or so, like you're trying to like figure out time when to play all this stuff too. So you have to manage that as well.
Yeah, shit is crazy.
Good point. So Rand, the question was about the just the timing of Microsoft, Xbox first party titles, and how do you feel like they're doing this year thus far and moving forward? As far as like I said before, we know that you don't have a lot of concrete dates on some of the games, but as far as like things that they could possibly do and things that they've done up until this point.
I mean, I like the spacing of their titles so far. I mean, it was normally the beginning of the year is very sparse from Microsoft exclusive games. They always tend to load up the end of the year with their games, but it was nice to see Quantum Break be a heavy hitter in April, and Gears is coming out earlier. I like the more measured approach where you like sprinkle a game here and here rather than like, all right, here's all 5 of our games in the last like 4 months of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
I like what they're doing now, and I'm Scalebound will probably come out April of next year, and like Sea of Thieves will probably come out sometime early next year too, because they got a lot of games like when you think about like what can come out this year, they still have ReCore, they still have Sea of Thieves, they still have Halo Wars 2.
Oh yeah.
I keep forgetting about Halo Wars 2. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's a lot. Forza Horizon 3, which isn't announced, but we all know is coming. That's going to be at the end of this year. So there's only room for so many. If October is Gears, and September is most likely Forza Horizon 3, that only really leaves November open because they don't release games in December. So November is probably, if I would have to guess, Halo Wars 2. So that leaves, Scalebound early next year. Sea of Thieves, is that early next year or end of the year?
Where do you put ReCore then? You put ReCore somewhere in the summer?
I've been saying ReCore they should put that out in August.
Yeah.
August.
Otherwise, who knows? They might shift that to the beginning of next year too. They do seem to have a lot of games, and that's one of the things I'm looking forward to is E3. It's like, we've heard about Quantum Break since the reveal of the system. It's finally out, right?
Yeah.
Scalebound, what was that? Two E3s ago, right? When they debuted it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I want to start to get to the point now where it's like, all right, so I know what's coming out in 2016. I know for the most part what's coming out in 2017. Like, where's my Beyond stuff? Give me the stuff I want to be excited about, and the end of 2017, early 2018. Tease something. Tease like.
Yeah.
Not
I think
not
we're
saying
gonna get
Halo's,
that. I got a feeling that we're gonna get.
Well, I hope so because we kind of know everything that's coming out within a year and a half from now.
Yeah.
Like is Phantom Dust still being worked on? Is any one of the other studios working on another
game from
like
Labs?
State of Decay, the State of Decay game?
Yeah.
Sequel? It'll probably get unveiled at E3. But what I really want Microsoft to start doing is I want them to start following the Naughty Dog approach. And what I mean by that is I want them to allow their studios to make something else other than the main game they're working on. Like, for a while there, Naughty Dog just only made Uncharted. And it was, it was Uncharted 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And then it was like, make Last of Us. And look what happened. Last of Us became bigger than Uncharted. Now they're back on Uncharted. They're probably going back to Last of Us 2. And then they're not going back to Uncharted. They're going to hand that series off to somebody else. They've kind of already been hinting at that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see 343 just sit there and just make Halo 6,
Only make Halo,
Halo
yeah.
7, Halo 8, Halo 9. I want to see them to branch out and make something new. Same
Yeah.
thing with the Coalition. Like, I don't want them to just be stuck in the rut of, because I mean that's what happened with Bungie. Like, they just got sick of doing
They
Halo.
got sick of doing Halo.
And
Yeah.
granted, Destiny is kind of Halo-like in a way, but I mean, you know, they left because they wanted to make more money. I mean, there's nothing wrong with making more money. But I mean, we could have a situation here, and I think I've said this before in Crap Show, where like Microsoft, you know, acquiesced to Bungie's request, let them make Destiny, and then Microsoft could have formed 343 and continued Halo. They could have had Destiny and Halo if they wanted to.
Yeah, that's true.
Doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Yeah, and there's the thing, like, I kind of get sick sometimes of Fable Forza Gears Halo, Fable Forza Gears Halo, Fable Forza Gears Halo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, like, and I know, like, I mean, you look at the new IPs coming out, they got Recore, they got Scalebound, they got Sea of Thieves, and there's, you know, those games are going to be breaths of fresh air, but, like, still, they rely on those core franchises, I think, a little bit too much at the end of the day. I mean, Fable, I mean, who knows anymore with what went on with that game, but I don't know, I would like to see Microsoft give their first-party studios a little more leeway and maybe create something different. I mean, who knows, maybe it'll be a success, maybe it won't be, but but then again, like, Halo 5 like was amazing to me. Like, I love the multiplayer in that game, so and I want them to do well with Halo 6, but I don't need them to make a Halo 6. I would be perfectly fine if 343 was like, our next game is something different.
Couple years
you
off
know?
and make something different. Yeah, they can take that to Halo. Yeah.
But
They can do
that's,
that. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, I think, like, when we look forward, because you made the point, like, you know, what do we really need to look forward to in 2018 and beyond? What do we see? And I was actually thinking last night about this, that when they first announced Halo 4, you know, they kind of said, you know, we've got 343 and they're going to do a trilogy of games. So we know 343 is officially signed up for 4, 5, and 6. Beyond Halo 6 and beyond Halo Wars 2, we don't have any other Halo games, Halo content, you know, confirmed. So Halo 6 could be it. Halo Wars 2 could be the end of that. And then, you know, where is Microsoft, you know, placing all their chips in the future on that? Because Halo is Halo, and what are they going to do without that? And as I think of, you know, what are we going to see in 2018 and 19 from Xbox? And, you know, what are we going to see this year at E3? And it's that I think we should see those questions answered. You know, we saw last year a lot of announce of new IPs, you know, and I think we really need to be seeing release dates for those and seeing those coming out and seeing Microsoft, you know, really place it, you know, putting their bets on a lot more piles than just like Halo, because I love Halo and I always will, and I super appreciate everyone at 343 for the work they do. But yeah, let's have these people do other stuff.
Good point.
You know?
I don't know. I don't think that'll ever happen, to be honest.
Nah.
Well, and if it's not,
343 and Coalition will never do it. What they'll do is, if people in those positions don't want to do those games anymore, they'll just build another studio, and then they'll have that studio do another game. But they're never going to have.
I hate to bring up Sony's developers, but you know, if Microsoft like controlled their studios, like if Microsoft controlled Sony's studios, they would have never have gotten. Gamers would never have gotten Last of Us. I mean, hell, even look at Guerrilla. They made what? How many Killzone games?
Much.
3, 4.
30. It was
And now
4.
they're making that like a game that's completely different. That Horizon Zero Dawn game. Like,
I get it, but what I'm saying, as far as like the studio, they want that studio to be identified with Halo. So what I'm saying is, those people may move on to another studio that works under Microsoft. Like, they just say, okay, look, Phil, I did like 3 straight Halos. I'm good. Can I do something else? All right. Well, guess what? We could like come up with an idea, and we'll build a studio for that. And it'll just be a small branch, or a branch off and be like Black Tusk will come back or whatever.
Yeah,
because
they
have them do that. But they're never gonna have it where it's like 343 isn't Halo, because they'll just bring in new people to work there to just work on Halo. That's all they're gonna do. But they don't want that studio not to be Halo. Or it's the same thing as Force Coalition. It's always going to be something Gears.
Yeah, but they could do so much more. I mean, I hate bringing up
the
Naughty Dog thing. It's like people.
That's a great example.
When Naughty Dog came out and people were like, "Why are you making Last of Us? We just want Uncharted." And then they did Last of Us, and now look, now it's like I
Yeah,
mean, I
but
don't know
Naughty
if
Dog
it's
is different though because they went from Crash.
well, I know Naughty Dog's a
whatever
very
that-
versatile developer, but I mean, I think 343 can be as well. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like,
No,
it
but
gets
what
to
I'm
be
saying is like Naughty Dog wasn't based on. It wasn't like their name isn't like synonymous with the Uncharted. You see what I'm saying? It's not
well,
like
not I
Naughty
mean, not
Dog is
well,
called
it
like the
was.
Treasurers or something. Like
Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know.
Like 343 is from Halo's universe. Coalition is from Gears universe. So
Right, yeah.
that is where I'm like, that's why they won't ever do anything other than that at those
You're
studios.
probably you're probably 100% right. I'm just saying, me personally, I think that's a mistake. Like I think they need to broaden their. I think they like. I mean, look, because I was thinking about this earlier. What IPs have Microsoft made? Like their big ones, like Halo, Forza, and Fable, are all from the original Xbox, right? Like
Yeah.
the original one. Like Gears is a franchise they literally bought that was a third-party game from the 360. Like what other like franchises does Microsoft have right now that they started from last gen? And I was struggling to think of any.
Yeah, there's not very many. There's
Well,
not very many.
But who makes
Forza
Mario?
Horizon, I guess.
Does the same studio for Nintendo make Mario? All those
Well,
Marios?
Well,
I think that
Nintendo.
Well, I'm just saying because I'm thinking that's where Microsoft is going with their because Uncharted, like, let's be honest, as big as Uncharted is for Sony, nobody really knows that what fucking Uncharted is outside of the video game community. But everybody knows what Mario is. Everybody knows what Master Chief is. Like, people know what Halo is and never played a Halo game. People that have never played Uncharted have no idea what the fuck Uncharted is.
No, you're right. But I mean, I just look like one of the reasons why. I mean, you look at the NPDs this last month. One of the top selling games again is Grand Theft Auto fucking 5, a game that's what 4 years old now, 3 years old now,
Crazy. It's
right?
insane, dude.
And it's because people there's Call of Duty sells an insane amount every year, right? But like every year it's slipping. It's always going down, always going down. And Call of Duty is not really an event anymore. It's just like it's just something you accept. It's something that just happens, right?
Yeah.
You set your
Grand
watch
Theft
by it.
Auto
That's about
5.
it.
The Grand Theft Auto games are a fucking cultural event because you don't get those games that often, right? There's 4 years, 5 years in between. I'm not saying you need to get rid of Halo. I'm just saying, and I know Halo's like way too important to Microsoft. Like it literally comes out and it pays for all their games and all their services. It's the reason people subscribe to Xbox Live. I'm not saying like.
Well, Halo is their football team.
Right, but I'm not saying like you need to like stop Halo. I'm just saying like at some point you need to like make new franchises and similar. And I know Sea of Thieves is a new franchise and Recore and stuff, but like that is going like Sea of Thieves isn't going to appeal to people who like Halo. Let's just face facts, right?
Yeah,
that
course.
game is going to appeal to a different sort of demographic.
Well, that's why I think they need the Black Tusk. They need to bring back that studio and maybe some other studio. I mean, but I don't know. Well, Microsoft, you just never know because
you never know.
They're going in the route of getting a lot of third parties to do those games instead. So
right. I mean, what's stopping Microsoft from bringing back Perfect Dark and making this like something with Perfect Dark or any of those other games?
We've been saying that forever. Yeah, we've been saying that forever. Perfect Dark would be great. I'd love to see a Perfect Dark reboot.
And I know, like you're right. Like a lot of this is because Microsoft doesn't like. It's like, well, like where's Microsoft modern first-person shooter, right? Well, they don't have to make one because they don't want to compete with the third parties, and that's partially true. Like, there's no reason to make a modern day Halo or not even a Halo game, modern day Microsoft first-person shooter because there's already Call of Duty, there's already Battlefield, there's already a bunch of other first-person shooters, so there's no reason to make those.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, we've been through 15 years of Halo already.
Mm-hmm.
So the franchise is on a decline, and it's on a steep decline. It's as great as it is. Like, it's on a decline because of the previous two ones. Like, Master Chief Collection was a fucking disaster, and Halo 4 wasn't well received. So Halo 5 is feeling the brunt of the impact.
I don't even think it's that. I think they just put them out too quick because, especially after you had Halo 3, you had Halo ODST, then you had Halo Reach, and that's all within like 5 years. That's crazy.
Right, but even the sales, like the Halo Reach, like all those, you're right, but like Halo 3 and Halo Reach, they all sold extremely well right out of the gate. Like I forget how much the
No,
series
yeah,
didn't
that's-
see the decline until like a little like even 4 was like the fastest selling one, but it didn't hold the audience.
It didn't hold, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Master Chief Collection came out and didn't work. So like when 5 comes out and doesn't sell as much as the other ones, I didn't think it was that big of. It wasn't like a mystery to me. It was like, well, because the last 2 had problems. It's the same thing with
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed. Unity comes out and just tarnishes the whole brand, and then
Yeah.
Syndicate, which is a better game by all accounts, doesn't sell nearly as well. And now they got to like essentially stop making the franchise a yearly thing because people have turned on it. You know, I guess the point I'm trying to make is there's only so like you can only string along franchises for so long before people just completely tired of it, right? And you need to start making new franchises. And while Sea of Thieves looks like a cool franchise, and Scalebound could be a cool franchise, and Quantum Break could be a cool franchises, none of them are going to be ever on the scale of Halo. Like Microsoft, I think Microsoft needs to get out there and make a new franchise like a Halo-like franchise. I don't know.
Well, I think the biggest issue that they had with Halo 5 is the fact that when you would play Halo Master Chief Collection, that Halo 2 story was so fucking epic. You thought you were going to get that with Halo 5, and it just wasn't there. Not in that capacity as far as Halo. Like, that shit was fucking epic. It was like watching just their rendition of Star Wars with Halo 2. And I don't understand why they didn't, like, continue in that route. I don't know.
Well, like I get what Rand's saying about like fatigue, because every game runs its course at some point. Like my kids are not as fond of Halo. You know, they love it, but they're not as fond of it. You know, as I was when I first saw it, whatever the case may be. So you do get that fatigue as far as the franchise, and I hope Microsoft does do things differently, and we see them. They're making those changes because they are kind of taking risks, making these different IPs, and you know, Quantum Break. These are things that weren't happening at the end of last generation. All we got was Halo, Gears, and Forza for the last like 3 or 4 years of the 360's life cycle. So that was it. So for them to be taking the chances on Quantum Break, Sea of Thieves, Recore, all these other games, it shows that they're trying to do something different. And you never know. Like you throw shit at a wall, whatever sticks. Like Quantum Break may turn out to be something huge. You know, Sea of Thieves may turn out to be a lot bigger than it originally.
Yeah, they pushing that shit.
You just never know what can happen. Like shit catches on. Like, you know, I'm sure when Notch put out Minecraft or whatever, he didn't think it was going to be the ultra huge game that it is today. You know what I'm saying, or whatever.
You can never have imagined.
You can never have imagined. So I get what you're saying, Rand. About I'm actually on the same page as you. I really do feel like they need to start looking for another flagship franchise at this point. You can't like run on Halo forever. You know, unless you do something like drastic, like kill Master Chief or something like that.
They should have done that in Halo 5, man.
No, but that's
can't
them,
do that.
though.
You
You
can't
kill him
If the
and
fans
continue
won't
the
let him
series.
kill
That'd be
it,
like murdering Mario. You can't do
Yeah,
that.
you can't kill him.
Like Luigi killed Mario.
Yeah, you
Not
can't.
only Luigi. Motherfuckers
cannot-
gonna buy Luigi?
Yeah.
I heard a rumor about. Do you remember back when they were doing the marketing before Halo 5 came out, and it was like, whose side are you on? Team
Yeah.
Chief, Team Lock, right?
Yeah.
And like the hashtag was like 9-1 in favor of Master Chief or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I had heard that absolutely spooked the shit out of 343 and Microsoft, because obviously the game it's completely lopsided in favor of Lock. Like they were completely taken aback by. I don't know if that says like who's in charge of 343 or whatever, but if they literally thought that like Locke was going to be like, yeah, let's go Locke over Chief, like I don't know
No
what
way.
the fuck they're smoking.
Yeah,
But it was
no
just something
way.
I heard that like they thought people would be more accepting of Locke than they were, you know, against Chief. But it was like no, people like Halo Master Chief is fucking Halo. You cannot get rid of him.
Isn't that part of the problem though with it too? Because I mean, look at like it is not. I mean, indicative of that you need Master Chief to continue on Halo. Because look at ODST. I mean, a game can subside with Buck. Like it can happen. He's a good enough.
Yeah, but I mean,
character.
even ODST, that's still just a side
I don't
story
think a
within the
universe should. I don't think a universe, if it can't survive without its main character, should be allowed to live. Which I think it could, if they decided to kill him. Because look, they're probably going to kill Nathan Drake in Uncharted 4. That's probably going to happen.
Yeah, but
So if you So if they made Uncharted 1 and 2 and then killed them in 3, there wouldn't be any more Uncharted's. 'Cause
Yeah,
it wouldn't be
probably
the same.
not. But I mean, at some point, like
And the same thing with
that's
like,
a
Tomb
that's a
Raider.
kind of different universe, though.
Well,
Like Star
we're talking
Wars,
about
I mean, you
universes,
could
though.
kill
We're
off
talking about
characters. Like if Luke Skywalker died, it wouldn't end the universe for me. Like it would still keep going. So
Well,
if Halo is good enough, which it should be able to survive without the Master Chief. I think fans are
People are way too invested. That's
Nah.
literally Master. That's literally like he said. That's like killing off Mario. There's no way
There's no
anybody.
way.
I know they
Yeah.
won't, but I'm
It's
thinking
gonna-
for artistic integrity, they probably should.
Yeah,
it's-
but artistic doesn't always
They're
sell.
not gonna do that, yeah.
Like you're not gonna.
I've been waiting
No,
for
I get what you're saying.
for like
Zach.
15 years. So.
Game
You
of Thrones,
gotta really-
everybody
you
kill
gotta
everybody.
Would you say, Fred?
Game of Thrones, everybody and kill everybody off.
Right?
Nah, you
I
can't.
mean, come on,
You just can't do it.
You can't. It'd be like if they killed off fucking Link in
Yeah,
Zelda, or
it's-
Mario.
yeah.
Mario. You can't.
Or Lara
They're the-
Croft and Tomb Raider.
or
Like,
Gordon
That would also
Freeman
be
in
kinda
Half-Life. You
Be
can't.
like, we're gonna follow her fat friend.
No, that's
what?
well, and that's when you look at these universes and these franchises. That's the difference. You can take all of these, whether you're looking at games or movies, or TV, books, all of it, and you see some franchises that are clearly, the universe as a whole is the character. Star Wars is about Star Wars. It's not just about Luke Skywalker. Yeah, he's a main character and part of it, but it's that, like you said, if he were to die in Episode 8, like that wouldn't be as crazy, and they wouldn't get the same type of backlash that Microsoft would get.
Well, no,
if
because they
Master
would have
Chief
spent
dies.
2 previous movies building up the new characters. It's the difference. Like,
Well-
yeah, but here's the thing. Like, nobody who's playing Halo is going to want a situation where you play as Locke and you only play as Chief for one level. Like, video games and like movies are completely different in my opinion in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, if they literally kill off Master Chief, I'm fucking
It's a
done with
wrap.
Halo.
It's
Then
a
I
wrap.
guess
I
I don't
don't-
know
I'm
how to
done.
you guys then.
I
'cause
mean,
I thought all the other
look,
parts
like
were-
basically, look at it this way: Born Identity, the last one sucked, and why? Because Matt Damon wasn't in it.
Yep.
That's pretty much how it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, you just can't. Like, there's no
think-
way.
I mean, Majin just put up a good thing in the chat right there that there's a new protagonist in Gears 4, but that won't kill Gears for him.
Well, that's
But
because
that's-
it's also his
If
son.
Marcus dies,
Yeah, but it's
Is
literally
anybody gonna
just
be done with
Marcus
it?
though. It's just his. I mean, it's
Like it's just the new
There's a
rendition
reason-
but
of
then
Marcus.
what are we saying here? Because it is just another guy in Spartan armor.
yeah, but it's just his
No,
kid.
but
It's
that's
like
literally
It's
him.
not just
He-
another guy. But that's like that's,
Phoenix has more personality than Master Chief does because he doesn't have his
like,
helmet.
He's the video game version of Superman. There's no way you can like. I mean, he's people are too invested in him as a character. Like, there's no way they're gonna let that happen. Like, there's
plus.
no,
I mean, when I think of Gears, I don't think of Marcus Phoenix.
Yeah, because
I don't
he
know.
I
has
don't
a
either.
team.
And
that's
like, he-
the difference.
yeah.
he's a whole team. Like
And you gotta think
some
about it.
people only like Coltrane, like their favorite character is Coltrane or Baird.
Or
Yeah.
Bear, yeah. So you're right. If you think about it, if you look about Halo if you look at it on a timeline from the very first Halo all the way up until not including ODST and Reach, because those were prequel. One was a prequel, one was like a side story. But
Mhm.
from there up until 4, Master Chief was the entire Halo game.
That's
the
it.
only character you played
Well,
as.
okay, I guess the way we're gonna figure the whole thing out then is Mass Effect Andromeda, because Mass Effect's been Shepard the whole time, and now it's not Shepard.
Yeah, but Shepard's
Yeah.
but Shepard's a creative character. It's like
It's,
fucking.
you gotta be Shepard either way. You're called Shepard the whole time.
Yeah, but I mean, like
Shepard.
it's
Rand,
just
you're being
yeah, but
negative.
Shepard is just a stand-in for you. You're just
Yeah.
literally a stand-in for.
Yeah, because Lord knows
And
if I
is
could
not
change his
Master
name,
Chief
I
just a
would.
reflection of us? Come on, guys.
But
I don't
he's
get
so
the love.
unique in that
I
himself.
don't get
is
the
that
love
you
for this
don't.
character. And that's
No,
just
But that's
I
not.
don't get the love of the character in your avatar, but I roll with it.
No, it's not. Master Chief isn't as much of a stand-in. Like, yeah, that's the whole thing with never seeing his face. That's part of it. But the rookie, the rookie in ODST or Noble 6 in Reach, that's you. That's meant to be your character. But Master Chief has always been a separate character, a very individual character, and you're just experiencing his, adventures. You're seeing his life through his eyes. And the thing is, like, I stand by that, you can have a universe and you can take away main characters, whether it be by death or just departure, and the universe can continue. But like you said, we've only had 2 games in the entire Halo franchise that weren't 100% focused on Master Chief. And as amazing of a character as Master Chief is, and as much as I've loved to see that, they've dug themselves in a hole now that if they want to remove Master Chief, they have a serious problem. And they need to take a couple games.
30 more years.
They need to take a couple games and create a character that people can, I mean, it's hard to say that anyone that the Halo universe would ever love a character the same way they do Master Chief, but that's what Microsoft or 343 needs to do in order to have Halo continue on past Master Chief. And I think they rushed into it too fast with Locke because they introduced him and it was immediately like, hey, Master Chief might be dying right now. And it's like, whoa, not down for that straight away.
Yeah, Buck can take it.
Into that.
Buck
That's what I mean.
Fine.
Buck was a character that they just created, and people fell in love with that character because he's an amazing guy. Locke was a character who was more, forced onto us, and it was like he was so much of, the hype of Halo 5 was this new guy because he had the whole live-action series beforehand, and
I think they were putting stock in the fact that people were going to watch that, and I don't think
I
think
did, and they should have expect that. Than Master Chief is. It's just ridiculous. You know very little about him other than if you actually read the stories, but Locke is like, he's just one big ass mystery, and we learned nothing of him, nothing about him. So it's hard to really be like, oh, I like this guy. Well, why do you like him? I don't know. I know nothing about him, but I like him. Okay.
So I guess for the whole panel wide then, and I guess we already reiterated this, if they kill off Master Chief, will you guys not ever play another game after that?
No.
Another game? You mean another Halo game?
Or like if it's Buck in his place, will you hate it? Like, will that be like a horrible thing?
It's not going to be that. It's just, it really determines, it's really going to how they do it. Like, if they decide to, phase him out some way, that's
90% how they do it.
Yeah, it's Walking Dead syndrome. They can't get rid of Daryl now, even though they might want to, because people say they'll stop watching the show.
Stop watching it,
And
we'll see. They can do some creative things. I mean, they can
be crying for hours in their closets.
They could do some creative things with the game. So
let's hope.
It's really going to depend on how they do it.
That's going to determine a lot.
If they do some, kind of half-assed job of he gets killed or just randomly, or it's not, because again we run back into the same situation that his character is such a pivotal part of the Halo universe that you can't just he's gone now. You can't just write this guy off.
We'll see how. Okay, so we'll see how this plays out if they kill off Nathan Drake in Uncharted 4. If they kill off Nathan Drake in Uncharted 4 and there is a goddamn huge gigantic backlash,
Master Chief isn't going anywhere.
We'll see.
You know what? The funny thing is, I don't think people are gonna have a problem if they kill off Nathan Drake.
I wouldn't, because but then again, I'm like some kind of sociopath who just wants to see everything have a nice little death bow on it.
Well, okay, if you're ending the series, if it's literally Uncharted 4 ends and Nathan Drake is dead and there's never an Uncharted again, that's perfectly fine. Start of the story, end of the story. But does anybody honestly believe if they kill off Master Chief, they're not just going to keep on doing Halos without him?
They're going to keep doing Halo.
And that's the problem.
They've even said they're going to keep doing Uncharted without Nathan.
That's because we'll see how that goes. But I'm just saying
we'll see how it goes. In honesty, I probably won't.
It all comes down to the execution and the writing. If they can
pull it off,
good, and it's pull out the heartstrings and actually give a reason. Because let's be face it, there's no reason Master Chief was only in Halo 5 for three missions. It was clear that they wanted to phase him out and they wanted to introduce this, but they just tried to force it upon everybody. It was just here's, but they have to go back to the drawing board. They have to
do something.
They have to do it right. They have to do the character right. You can't just be by the way, we're getting rid of fucking, Halo. When you play the single player, and I know ODST there's no, or even Reach, but those are one-offs. Yeah. They're not meant to be continued.
They're not meant to be,
The problem is they didn't do it 50-50 like they did in Halo 2. That's the problem.
Oh, with Arbiter and Master Chief?
Yeah, you played with the Arbiter damn near just as much as you played with Master Chief. So
but even at that, though, the Arbiter is a character you can level with.
Yeah. So.
And people hated back in Halo 2 when that was because nobody knew you were the Arbiter. So when that finally came out in the day, people were fucking pissed. What do you mean I'm playing as fucking Arbiter for half the game? I want to be Master fucking Chief. Like,
People
there was a
were mad
huge
about that shit all the way up until
Dude, I
Halo
remember
3.
going to GameStop back then and picking up the game, and the guy was like, "You want to get the strategy guide for Halo?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Dude, you gotta get strategies for when you're playing as the Arbiter." I'm like, "Who the fuck is the Arbiter?" And then when I played the
You had
game
no
and I'm
idea.
playing as the Covenant guy, I'm like, "That motherfucker spoiled it for me. God damn it!"
Yeah, because in Halo 3, you didn't even play as the Arbiter. You played as another version of the Chief.
Yeah.
And that was because of all the backlash that people had about playing as the Arbiter, which it would make so much more sense if you look at it now and be like, why the fuck am I another Chief? You should have just made me the Arbiter. Well, you motherfuckers said you didn't want to be the fucking Arbiter. Now you want to be
That's
the
half the
fucking Arbiter?
problem.
What
They're
the
scared of their fans. I mean, they probably wanted to kill off Chief in
You
this game.
bipolar bastards! Like,
Well, I
they're
think that
probably really
backlash came a lot from the fact that it was sprung on the community, that no one knew that was happening. But it was that, like, but then I think overall, like, people don't look back at Halo 2, and if you're like, hey, what do you remember from Halo 2? It's not, I remember being pissed that I had to play as the Arbiter. It's like, they remember a great multiplayer. They remember amazing story. They remember taking down a freaking Scarab. Those are the memories that have stood the test of time. And I think a big part of that is that the Arbiter ended up being a character that, even if you didn't love him and necessarily want to play as him, you liked him and you understood him. And that's why he still continues on to this day. And it's a character like that. I'm not saying the Arbiter, him himself, but I'm saying a character like that is a character who could take on the story, someone that the fans just fell in love with, an Arbiter character, a Buck character, not someone that the devs sat down and said, okay, we need Master Chief 2.0. It's the same way like you were saying earlier.
Which is kind of Locke, right? I mean, it's Locke.
That's what they wanted it to be, but it's not going to work out that way.
No.
All right. Yeah. So we've ranted on about this topic.
That one went way long.
Yeah.
You guys have broken my streak of an hour show. So yeah.
I like
All
getting
right.
emotional about Halo.
No, that's cool. Great topic, everybody. Great topic. So looks like I'm gonna go ahead and end the show now. I want to appreciate everybody who's come out and been rocking with us. We've had quite a bit of people in and out here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Great questions also too. So I'm gonna go around the panel, let everybody get in their last little plugs. We're gonna go ahead and go about our day. So let's go ahead and start with you, Zaz.
Oh yeah. Do the follow me on the whatever. I don't post anything. Look out for me and Asthmatic maybe rogue hunting since my character's back at some point.
We'll get that going
soon. Yeah, look forward to me and Foxfire during the Gears 5 beta where she tries to debate of why those are good games to me.
Gears 5? What are we, like, two years from now? In the future?
He's planning way ahead.
I was going to say. What's the weather like? Who's the president?
Fourth. Sorry.
Do I got to get tickets to
Rand.
Canada?
On that one, Rand. Thanks,
Nice.
Rand.
All right, Paul. Go ahead and get your plug in, brother.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is GKB. Don't forget, She-Wolf is the other part of the dynamic duo on Gamers Knows Best. Catch us out on the Console Corner, Xbox Nation, and, of course, my home, the Shop Podcast.
For sure. Asthmatic, got anything to say, brother, before we get out of here?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. It's great to be back and do a podcast again. Love getting to talk with everybody and talk about Halo. Getting excited and emotional is amazing and super fun to do. Last week I did a game night on Thursday. Thursday night I'm going to try to keep that going, get playing more games, get the community involved and connected directly, just play more games together. So follow me on YouTube to get more info on that, but also on Twitter over at Asthmatic117. Add me on Xbox Live at Asthmatic405. Let's play some games together.
For sure. Rand, got anything to say, bro?
I mean, yeah, you can check me out as well as like Southbound and Tim Dog on the TXR podcast Monday nights, 10 p.m. We got a giveaway going on right now for the Copper Shadow controller. You can enter that if you go to the TXR podcast account, which is TXR_podcast. You can enter as many ways as you want or as little as you want. It's up to you.
For sure. All right. And Livewire.
It's your boy Livewire, the most hated Xbox on Twitter as of right now. But it's been a rough week, man. It's been a rough week. Speak a little truth and motherfuckers go ham. It is what it is.
For sure. So you guys, they all have YouTube channels. Check them out. Check them out on Twitter. You guys can always hit me up at PGK BLAM on Twitter. I don't know how close am I right now. I know we said something about me hitting 700 subs at the beginning.
I keep looking. I'm still
see where
seeing you
I'm
at
at.
696. But your dashboard is going to update faster than your page. So
Yeah, for sure. So you guys, if you haven't, everybody that's in here, go subscribe to me here on YouTube. I greatly appreciate it. On Twitter also too. Want to thank all these fine gentlemen for sharing this evening with me here on Saturday. Appreciate you guys for coming out. Big shout out to Predator too. He had to leave a little earlier, so glad he got a chance to come through also. So you guys take it easy. And as we say here on the Shop Podcast, we out. You guys take it easy. Have a great weekend. We out of here, everybody. Y'all take it easy. Have a good one.
Take care of your fellow gamers.
see ya.
All right.